fellow makeup fiends, so today I'm going to do my best of 2014. I hope I'm in focus. I'm having huge camera problems this morning. I didn't film this early on because, and I know I'm very late, because we lost our dog on the 22nd of December and it was devastating for us. Had a real poor Christmas as a result. She was a baby of the family. I mean, they're all fur babies to us and they're members of the family, not just dogs. Isn't that right, Ripley? Ripley's here with me while I'm filming this, and there will be an update video on Ripley coming up just to kind of show you how she's doing. Here she is. You're gonna lick all my makeup off. Lick it off after the video. So I did have the concept that I was going to try and do everything in sections and make it a really polished, edited video, but sadly I just have a huge, massive amount of stuff on my desk. So I will try and section it if I can. Bear with me. So let's start with primers and base products. Now my favourites, and they've been my favourites a long time, and this might not necessarily have been a product that came out in 2014. In fact, I know two of them definitely aren't. In fact, both of my primers aren't. But they're primers that I really enjoy using. And I didn't want to do a best of 2014 just on products from 2014. I wanted to do what I really enjoyed using in 2014, and I'm still continuing using now, because I think that's a good indicator of how good a product is if you're continuing to use it. So the first one is the Gosh Primer. This is the Velvet Touch Line Perfector, or Line Perfection? Perfector. Comes in this tub. This is actually very pricey, I think. It's £14, but a little of this does go a long way, so it does tend to last ages. It's basically just like a white cream. It's quite thick. It's a little silicone-y feeling, but if you've got acne scarring and things like that, it won't hide it, but I do feel like it kind of helps make it not look so obvious, because it's kind of adding a layer on top of your skin. And I absolutely love this stuff, but I always pick it up when it's on a 3 for 2. All the better if it's got money off and it's a 3 for 2, because I think it was £10 the last time I got this, and it was also in a 3 for 2, so I did end up getting 3 for £20, which was really good. I think this is my last one though, so sadly. I absolutely love this stuff. The other one is actually a primer that I got from a glossy box, and it's not necessarily, I think a lot of people didn't think it was a primer, but it's called the Skin Perfector Line Smoothing Skin Perfector, and this is from Monu. And I actually have a couple of backups. I'm halfway down this one, and this is my second one, and I have, I think, another 2 or 3 in the backup drawer, because basically this is just amazing stuff. And a lot of people were like, oh, they didn't like the smell. It does have a herbly sort of smell, and I think a lot of people just thought it was a moisturiser, and it's not. It really does smooth out your face. It feels really good. Your skin feels lovely after applying it, and it is a perfect base for makeup because it does give a nice smooth finish to your skin, but also it just seems to suck the makeup to your face, and your makeup just lasts so well. So I really rely on this in the summertime, because I just think that even in the hot months, I think that this performs so well at keeping my makeup in place. So I absolutely love the Monu. The next thing I'm going to show you is actually something that is a sample, and this came, I believe, in the Carmine box way back in the day, and nobody seemed to want this, so I ended up with about, I don't know, about 16 tubs of this in swaps. This is the Time Cream by Institute Estherderm. It smells so luxurious and amazing and creamy, but that's what it looks like. I think I've got about 9 tubs of this left. It's about £60 for a full size one. I think the full size one is about 50 mils, but a tiny bit of this does go a long way, and it just gives a beautiful glow to your skin. It's so incredible, the glow just after you apply this moisturiser. It's amazing, and I use this mainly in the winter months, but if I just feel like my skin is feeling a bit dry and it's just feeling like it needs a bit of TLC, then I will put this on, because this Time Cream is an amazing moisturiser. My skin feels so supple and so nourished, and I absolutely love that. I couldn't be without it. The next thing I'm going to show you, we might as well stick with the kind of beauty product theme, is La Roche-Posay Effaclar Duo Plus, which comes in a container like this. This is normally around £15, which is very pricey, but this is amazing stuff. If you have problem skin, and a lot of your problem skin tends to be in reacting to products, then I think that this might work quite well for you. I have found that my breakouts that I was having, because my acne that I was having, I did have cystic acne, and I've got some quite bad scars from that. But like in the last couple of years I've had infectious acne, so that is actually sort of infected pores, and then as one pore erupts and a spot comes, any kind of touching then transfers it somewhere else, so it would spread across the face. I had a horrible time looking after it, and I had to take medication, and until I found La Roche-Posay, and it's just amazing stuff. I put a nice layer of this on the skin every single day, and the great thing about it is this is sort of like a pre-primer, in that this kind of puts a coverage on your face and then nothing else sinks into your pores, so it actually is like sort of a face protector, and I love the stuff. And that's my second tube. So my first tube lasted, well, it's just run out, so you're talking like it nearly lasted 12 months, like a week short of 12 months, and now I'm on to my new one, so definitely well worth it. I mean, if you can get a year out of it and you're applying it every single day, yeah, even if I don't put makeup on, I apply it because it's good for my skin. So the next thing I've got two a BB and a CC cream. Now one of them is just a sample size because I've actually run out of it and I do need to replace it. And you'll be surprised because you know I don't like Rimmel, but it's the Rimmel BB cream in matte. And it's in light. So this is just a little sample. Got a couple of those in the drawer to keep me going till I manage to get out and get some more of this. I love this stuff. Now what I do is, and you're going to think I'm absolutely mental, I put like a 5p piece worth onto my fingers, and then I rub it in, and then I rub it all over my face. Now I do have some redness on my nose and my cheeks, and I just find I don't really use concealer, I use a lot less foundation. I put it on before everything, and it just gives me a lovely base for everything to go on top, because it's already covered a lot of my redness up, and I'm not having to work so hard with other products to hide the redness. And it's a blemish balm, so it's also good for your skin. So I love that as a base for my foundation. And then the CC cream I've been loving, and this one's sealed because I ran out of it, and this is actually my third tube, but I'm actually using some BB creams up first, so I haven't opened this yet. But this is the Max Factor CC cream in Fair. This is the lightest shade. It has a fragrance to it, but it doesn't break me out, so I've got very sensitive skin and it doesn't seem to affect me. The coverage on this stuff is amazing. When my skin's good, and I'm touch wood, I feel like it's good all the time now. I get the odd spot. I've got a couple now, but nothing like before. You know, counting them before I was like, too many to count. But this stuff, the coverage is so amazing. It's a perfect colour match for me, and I actually wear this on its own in the spring, summer, and I don't wear anything else with it because it's such good coverage. And you know, a lot of these BB creams and CC creams don't always have the best coverage, particularly if you've got bad skin and you've got stuff to cover up. I do find that this CC cream covers up perfectly, so love that. And I've got a couple of concealers to mention, but you can't buy them anymore. But I think it was last year when these were just doing the rounds everywhere for £1, or I think I got these ones from Feel Unique and they were £1.99. And these are the Dainty Doll concealers. Now I've had these before a very, very long time ago when they used to be in Boots. And the packaging is just very simple. In fact, this brand doesn't exist anymore, I don't think. But it was the Nicola Roberts brand. And she's obviously from Girls Aloud, and she's very pale. So that's two of the concealers. I've got the very lightest one, which is 001, and I've got 002. 001 I use under the eyes for highlighting purposes, and 002 is more like just spot coverage. They're very, very thick, so they do take some patience to work with, but they're amazing. And you can pick them up online, very, very cheap. So it's worth looking out for them. Then I've got a foundation that I no longer use as a foundation. That doesn't make sense, but it will in a moment. So I've got the Max Factor Whipped Cream Foundation. Now mine is in 40 Light Ivory. Comes in a little glass jar. I really do need to pick another one of these up. That's what that one looks like. I don't think I've got one in the stock drawer. I need to check. But love this stuff. Now, I don't use it, like I said, as a foundation anymore. It is a lovely foundation. There is absolutely nothing the matter with it. It's got lovely coverage and it feels so creamy on the skin. I mean, it just blends in. It's perfect. Am I actually? it makes me want to use it again all over my face because I just love the texture, but the texture is very velvety. But what I actually use it for is, if I put eye makeup on and then I get fallout underneath, like Urban Decay shadows are terrible for it, then I'll put some of this onto a brush, like a stippling brush, and then I'll just put it underneath. I'll brush the excess shadow off and then put it underneath, blend it in, and that just basically covers up any kind of shadow mistakes. So that is actually what I use that for these days, and I love it. I rely on it a lot. I've got one foundation. Now I found this, I can't remember when it was released, and then I used nothing but this. Now at the moment I'm not using this because I have other foundations in my stock drawer that I want to get through, so I don't have one of these on the go at the moment. I'm currently wearing Better Skin by Maybelline, but this is the Maybelline Dream Satin Liquid Foundation. And mine is in, well, it's always the lightest colour. This one is Light Porcelain. It says 04, so you would think there were colours underneath that, but they usually aren't. So, but this is a perfect colour match for me. Oh, the coverage is beautiful. I'd say it's a medium coverage. It just looks like skin. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but some foundations can look a bit cakey. They're not great to blend in. This just goes on and the coverage is perfect. The colour is perfect. It's got a little bit of glow about it. I love this foundation. It's beautiful. It's my favourite foundation. So I highly recommend that. And I guess what I'm kind of showing you this for is because Maybelline foundations in general, I have the 24 Hour Super Stay on the go at the moment, and I also have the Better Skin. I love Maybelline foundations. I don't really like anything else from Maybelline, but their foundations are second to none, and you often get these on offer in Boots as 2 for $10. The MAC Mineralised Charged Water. A lot of people don't actually talk about this. The smell of this is amazing. It smells like rain. Do you know what I mean? I'm obsessed with rain at the moment. I'm going to do a What's on My iPhone app. Is it my iPhone app? I'm going to do What's on My iPhone video, and you're going to see how obsessed with rain I am. But I love the Mineralised Charged Water. I use this on my face whether I'm putting makeup on or not. I love how moisturising it is and refreshing. I love to put it in the fridge during the summer months and spray it on. But it's just beautiful, and I really enjoy putting this on sometimes before makeup, sometimes after, sometimes during. So it's just a really great sort of product. What I find during is if I put all my base products on, my powder and my foundation and everything, and then I spray this, it kind of diffuses everything together nicely, stops it looking cakey, and just gives a really nice canvas for everything else to go on top. So I love this and highly recommend it. I don't know if it's still got the same smell. I think I'd have to go to MAC and sniff it because it does say something about green tea and citrus online, because I was thinking I might repurchase another one of these. Smells amazing. I don't know if it's got the same smell. I was thinking about just getting a mini one for my bag, but I'm a bit frightened because I'm not sure whether it's the same smells, so it's a bit risky. I couldn't not mention the Ben Nye Luxury Powder. This one is in Rose Petal. I always want to call it Petal Pink. As you can see, well loved and used. I've definitely nearly finished this jar, to be fair. I hadn't realised it was quite so far down. But what I find is great about this powder, it's a beautiful, very subtle, soft pink. And if I'm not well, or I'm just really feeling like I look really pale, this is just a great powder. It doesn't add a lot of colour. That's it there. Lid back on so I don't have an accident. So I've done a heavy swatch of it here. And you'll not see the effect when I blend it in, I don't think. But it just brightens up your tone, your skin tone. That tiny hint of pink definitely does give your skin colour a little bit of a lift and make you look a bit more alive, which is important when you're pale. Yeah, so I love this stuff. And then the last thing is the blot powder. Now this one has got the Rocky Horror lid on it, but it's not actually from the Rocky Horror collection. I actually got this blot powder a very long time ago. In fact, I did a haul with it in. And I actually love using this. It's so finely milled, it's ridiculous. It's great as a sort of makeup primer, but I personally love it afterwards just to set everything. Like, there's not a lot to show you there. Still not a lot, but there you go. So it's just, you know, some people have said, oh, it's so white and it's kind of chalky. And yes, it is very white, but you blend it in and it's not. As long as you don't have a ridiculously heavy hand and put big chunks of it on, then you're okay. And it's just such a lovely powder. Your skin feels like velvet. It really blurs everything into place. It's so beautiful. And when the Rocky Horror collection came out, I think this was the best item to purchase in the collection, because look at it. It's the one with the biggest sort of packaging on it. Apart from, I don't know whether the powder had that on the front, I can't quite remember. But it's just great, and I think it was one of the last things to sell out, but the packaging on it is amazing. And what I did was, when I bought it, I transferred my lid from the one I got from the Rocky Horror onto my existing block powder, and then just put the other one in the drawer as a backup, because there was no harm in me purchasing another one of these, because I use it all the time and I just love how it looks. And then the last thing, I've just always loved this. I've had this for a long time. As you can see, it's the old style packaging. I have gone to bed with makeup on before, and that's very naughty, but eye makeup with glitter and all sorts, and woke up and it's been exactly the same the next day. Just, it holds it like nobody's business. It's just an amazing makeup fixer. So now on to contours. This is a very short part of the video because contours is something that's quite new to me, and something where I didn't have a huge amount of products, and just lately I've got very much into more products to do with contouring. But my first contouring product, and still one of my favourites and definitely one of my best of 2014s, is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. And I think this one is seen as the light one because I know more colours are out now. Look at that. You can see it's got serious love. So this is like, it's meant to be a highlight, but to be fair, on me, can you see it? Once you blend it, it's my skin tone. So it's not really very highlighting, but I do love it to set concealer under my eyes. You've got the banana powder. I'm still not quite into using that yet. I suppose I'll get there. I'm a bit nervous of it. I think I'd like to read up a bit more about it. And then you've got your highlighter, which is so beautiful. These are the two shades that I use for contour. And then I use the last one as a bronzer. So nothing in this palette is unused. I know some people have said, oh, I don't use a couple of shades. I use all the shades in this palette and I really, really love it. Yeah, and it's a great thing to travel with because you've got like, I could use this as all over face powder. So I've got my face powder, my highlighter, my bronzer and my contour in one place. So it's really, really ideal and I love it. Two other contour things that I also loved. I've got two single shadows to show you. One of them is from, I honestly can't remember if it's Poundland or Pound World. Makeup Gallery Colour Story. Now, you might recognise the packaging and know which pound shop it's from. If you do know that, then please put that in the comments below for everybody. This one is in Cappuccino. It's an eyeshadow. And it's beautiful. It's got a serious dent in it. I really need to pick up another one, but that's the colour. And that's it there. And it's a beautiful cool toned taupe colour. It is nice on the eyelids. I have tried it, but I'm not one for single shadows. It's beautiful as a contour. It is very, very pigmented though, so you've got to be very light-handed with it. But because it's cool toned and I'm very pale, cool tones tend to look a lot better on my skin tone, because if a bronzer has even a tiny micro granule of orange in it, I will just look like an Oompa Loompa because I'm pale. As soon as you put anything with any orange on your skin, it's like woo woo. So a cool tone highlight, a cool tone contour is really where you want to go. And then I got this eyeshadow in Heroine from Illamasqua because Nikki of Nikki Tutorials uses this as her contour, and again it's a cool tone sort of taupe colour, and she swears by it, and she is like the same sort of colour as me, and she's the same sort of face shape as me, so I couldn't resist. And it's a little warmer, that's it there, but it does work beautifully as a contour, and there's quite a dent in that as well because I was using those and really enjoying them, and they're just great to, you know, pop in a makeup bag and at least you've got your contour with you. So, and you know, you've got your two ends of the scale really, because this is £1 and I don't know, I want to say these are about 12 to 15 pounds, I can't quite remember. Yeah, so that is the contouring section. So moving on to brows, I only have 3 products to show you here that I really loved last year, and the first one is a brush. Now I think Barry M have repackaged, so I think they're like white and purple or white and pink now, but this is like the angled brush, but it's basically just a very fine sort of eyeliner brush. Now this one's not too bad, it's still quite fine, but they do tend to get a bit fluffed out the more you use them. But I absolutely love this to apply brow products. It's just perfect. The angle of it is fantastic, just to get really quite a natural sort of look. So I love that, and it's really affordable. And then the two things I'm loving, and you kind of got high straightener or high end, but I love the collection brow kit. And I got this when it was on offer, and I got it in Morrison's actually. It did have like a little brow gel, but they get mucky very quickly, and I have actually used that up, and they did have a little brush, which I don't like. But I love this brow kit. I can use this if I want a more dramatic look, but what I love about the centre colour is it's a red toned brown, and because I've got dyed red hair, I just like the look of a red toned brown brow, because it's just nice to have that red tone on there, and a lot of brow kits don't actually have that. So I think that's a really great colour. And then the other one's like more of a blonde, sort of blonde redhead brunette. Yeah, so fantastic little kit and very affordable. And then the other thing which I loved last year, then I kind of went off it towards the end of the year, and then I fell back in love with it. I think this kind of took over from it, and then I've just sort of picked it up again now. And it is actually the MAC Fluid Line Brow Gel, and this one is in Dirty Blonde, which it looks an unusual colour, and to be honest there's a huge dent in there. In fact, I'm nearly at the bottom of it, but it's what I've got on today. And a couple of people commented on my brows in the last video. I think it was the last video. It was a haul video, and that's what I actually had on my brows. I love this stuff. It's amazeballs, so yeah, highly recommend that. Last year, I have to say that these are the brushes I used the most and absolutely loved. And that's everything that's in here is Neve Cosmetics. Now I actually got sent a bundle of these to review, so I haven't purchased all these, but I did go on and purchase some myself too, because I just love them so much. The ones that I love the most, and I'll just mention a few, I do love the flat top sort of face buffer. And then the one that I was using to do contouring last year before I found other brushes that have since kind of took its place. This is the Face Sculpt brush, so it's a blue sculpt, and I still do reach for this. I love the chunkiness of the handles. You really feel like you're holding something really solid. They're beautifully made, and it's a vegetarian and vegan. They're a friendly sort of brand. They are an Italian brand, but I do get mine from Beauty Chamber, and I think it's Cocktail Cosmetics also do the Neve Cosmetics brushes. They're super soft, they don't shed, they wash beautifully. I honestly cannot say enough great things about these. They're just fabulous brushes. I love the blush brush. The face powder brush is just amazing. It's I tell you what it is. I said I didn't have a brush as soft as the Contour Bouquet from the Too Faced contour kit the other day, but this is as soft as that. These I think are comparable to the Too Faced ones, and actually it looks very similar to the Too Faced powder brush. So soft, so beautiful. And I also love this one, which is kind of like a little highlighter brush. So that's kind of just a few sort of honourable mentions, because I do have quite a few in there, but I absolutely love the Neve Cosmetics face brushes. And then for my eyes, my Sigma brushes were my favourite last year. I still use them now. I still love Sigma brushes. The only thing is, if you use them a lot, some of them, their names do kind of come off the sides of them, and that's kind of disappointing. I have heard, sorry, itchy nose, I have heard that you can put a clear varnish over that to prevent it from happening. If anybody knows if that works, please do let me know in the comments below. These are amazing brushes, fantastic quality, probably best bought in kits. They've got a nice length handle, they're beautifully made, and they just, the blending with these and the work that you can achieve and the looks, fantastic. I love my Sigma brushes. So the next section is blushes, and I don't have a lot of new blushes to show you because basically I don't have a huge interest in blushes. So it's not something where I'll go out and buy a lot of them. I have a nice collection of blushes, and you'll see I don't have a huge collection of blushes when I do my makeup collection video. I tend to stick to the ones that I really love, and the ones that I use the most definitely are Sugar Bomb, which I've actually got on today, and look at it, I've hit pan, I'm so disappointed. I love Sugar Bomb, amazing. I just love the colour of that one, it's quite a natural sort of colour. And then the other one that I absolutely love is Coralista. any time of the year, don't care if it's winter or spring, it smells amazing, and it's got a huge dent in it, and I don't think I'm far off hitting the bottom on this one either. I love Coral Easter. Oh, it's just perfection. Yeah, this is it here. It's so beautiful. It's the perfect coral. It's not too dark, it's not too light, it's perfect for pale skin. I love Coral Easter. And then a couple of others I have to mention. I've got this sleek blush, which I absolutely love. This one is in mirrored pink, and it was actually part of a collection. What does it say? Aqua collection. So it has got on the front. And that is the colour. It's just the perfect pink. It's so pretty. And sleek blushes, if you have them, then you will know that they are super duper pigmented. The great thing about this one, it's got a glow in it. So you could actually get away with just wearing this with no highlighter because it's already glowy, so it's kind of blush and highlight in one. And it's the most beautiful baby pink. It's so gorgeous. Sleek blushes are just amazing. So I love that. And then cream blushes. I love cream blushes. I've got Topshop ones, I've got Dainty Doll, I've got Gosh. I do wear them quite a bit. I love them. But for me, the best ones are the Casual Colours by MAC. And they came out with the Casual Colours collection, and then they launched some in the Playland collection. And a couple of my favourites are Lazy Sunday, which is quite a cool sort of pink. And then from the Playland collection, I love these two. This one is For Your Amusement, candy sort of pink. And then this one I don't really use on my cheeks, but I should experiment with it. I use this more on my lips, but again, this is from the Playland collection, and this one is called Young at Heart, which is a bright pink. But I think I will try that on the cheeks because they're not actually as bad as they look. They do sheer out quite nicely. And that one, I love that one on the lips. It reminds me of Silly by MAC. It's such a beautiful Barbie sort of pink. But yeah, that's that. That's Young at Heart. And that's a swatch of it there. It's beautiful. And I use like a stippling brush to put these on. You can use the Real Techniques one. I've got like a mini MAC stippling brush. I don't know if it's here. Oh yeah, there it is. It's just amazing. So that's the little one that I use. And I actually got this in a set. Let's see if I can give you the number. It's a 130 SE, which means special edition. This is perfect for applying clean products. Clean? This is perfect for applying cream products onto the cheek, and I use this for blushes and also for cream highlights. So fantastic little brush, and it's just perfect for travelling, which is obviously what the little kits are mainly meant for, sort of travel size brushes. But this brush is fantastic. So the next category is eyes, and this is probably the biggest category, to be honest, and I find it very difficult to cut it down, so I will try to be quite quick. Well, A primer. This one I got in a glossy box. It just says Absolute New York, so I'm taking it that's the brand, but I love this primer. It's just amazing. It's, you know, everything stays in place when I use this primer, and it's just fantastic stuff. Then I've got something that I love and I know has been discontinued, and it's an eyeshadow pencil by Urban Decay, and this one is in Sin. Now if I'm in a hurry and I've slept in, or I just want to lie in and I don't really want to get up for work and I kind of leave it till last minute, then I will put on a basic eye, and my basic eye basically consists of Sin. Sometimes I'll put something in the crease, but most of the time I just don't bother because it's so beautiful. That's it there. Now I know you can get the eye primer in Sin, but it's not quite the same colour, but I think I probably will invest in it because I just love Sin. It's a champagne-y sort of soft glow, and it's fantastic all over the lid. I absolutely love Sin, but I do have another one of these, and then I have a large one as well, so hopefully I've got something to keep me going for a while. And then I do have an eyeshadow stick to show you. What are these called? This came out in the Rocky Horror collection, and I did get it in both colours. This is the one in black, and it's a grease paint stick, and I also got B, which is the blue one. But this is the black one. This is perfect for smoking out. You can use it if you want a really thick liner, but it just smokes out so easily. It's really great. It's lovely as a base, and I use this quite a lot. I wasn't sure I was going to, but I really like it. Now we're on to eyeshadow palettes. So Sigma. I got into Sigma palettes last year and they're fantastic. They're beautifully pigmented. You get a lot of colours in here that you don't see everywhere else, so you do get some unique shades. So soft, so buttery, so amazing. This is the Fall Softly one. Look, I dinged that one. So devastated. This is a beautiful palette. Such beautiful pastels, such beautiful shimmer quality. Love Fall Softly. So I had to give Sigma a mention. That one is probably the favourite one that I've got. It's just amazing. Right, I'll mention Kat Von D. Now, I just have one of the palettes to show you. I got both the Chrysalis and the Monarch palette. This is the Monarch palette, I'm pretty sure. This palette is amazing, and I kind of thought, oh, it's neutrals, it's nudes. I love colour, I'm a colour girl, but I still do like neutrals and nudes, and some of these colours in here are just so beautiful, and just, they're so pigmented, and I've not seen anything like them anywhere else. This one here is amazing. It's like a rusty colour. It's, oh, I just love this palette. I love these ones along here for highlighting. The colours are very pigmented, they're buttery, they blend beautifully, and I just can't wait to get more palettes from Kat Von D. And I really love the size, and I love the layout, because you've almost got like, that's like a set, then that one's a set, and then that one's a set. So I really like how it's set out. It's set out like sort of 3 mini palettes all in one thing, one place. It's really great. And then the other one, I could not be without this palette. I use it all the time, even if I'm just dipping into it for, you know, a crease colour or something to put on the outer V or highlight. The Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I just could not be without it. It is the most amazing palette, and I was a bit nervous of getting it, but it smells amazing. And those are the colours. Now, probably my most used are 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah, and 10. I use so many of them, and I absolutely love them. They're pigmented, they're buttery, they look amazing on, and they smell like chocolate, so bonus. I had to show you the Rocky Horror eyeshadow palette. I really want to buy a backup. Is that naughty? Is that naughty that I want to buy another one of these to put in the stash?